Hi, this is Simone and I'm the Zen Mommy. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel where I help people with spiritual awakening and navigating your ascension. Today, I would like to thank you first for even clicking on this video and watching it. And I would like to ask if you subscribe and press the bell button and it will notify you of the next message. And today, I want to talk about the difference between woke and awakened and spiritually awakened. Okay. So during this awakening journey, I thought it was just in the beginning, I thought it was like, oh, I'm having a spiritual awakening. I'm opening to these new spiritual things, to holistic health. My first beginning of my awakening started off with wanting to heal myself and learning more about the healing of the mind, body, and soul. Okay. Then it evolved into this whole thing where now I'm talking about dimensions and 5D and on the YouTube channel. It evolved. Okay. So a lot of times there's a lot of people, there's a mass awakening going on, but there's also something that's a little different from a spiritual awakening that I'm starting to notice from a different point of view. Now you have the people be like, I'm woke. Woke. And so I thought that it meant spiritually awakening, but it doesn't. But it doesn't mean they're not woke. So I was watching this movie and this girl made a joke. They were talking about the movie Get Out. And she said to the person, oh my God, he forgot to stay woke. I was like, oh my God, they're making fun of it. So there are the people who are waking up to a lot of the collective conscious programming. Like, as you know, the whole new health food craze with the vegan, the raw vegan, the paleo, all of those things. But those are people that are noticing that these things are bad for us. There's a lot of toxins in that, right? Then there's the people who are noticing like the collective programming, maybe it's through television, maybe it's through the Illuminati or or the way like the way things are run in this government economy, like there's a lot of control going on, and so people are now saying, oh yeah, I'm woke. See, before this awakening, we were the masses were kind of like zombies following the program. And I have actually a perfect good example. So my husband, Dorian, my soon-to-be husband, he has a regular matrix job, and he works at a company with the union. And he tells me all the time when he comes home how all these men care about is a pension. Working till they're 65, getting their pension, getting their 401k, putting in all these years. And of course, Dorian's like, I don't want that. I don't want to put in all these years. So pretty much we have been programmed to make money, pay taxes, get married, maybe have a kid, maybe have 2 cars, possibly a dog, the American dream. Okay. And so for a lot of people for a long time, that's been enough. It's been enough to just count on, oh my God, when I get 65, I'm going to get retirement. I'm going to get a pension. Then what? Your whole life is gone. And that's a little bit of money, right? But see, a person who is awakening no longer wants to dedicate their whole life to working for the man, I don't know, the government, the man, just working and not getting much out of it, spending all day, Dorian, sometimes he works full time. But the other employees he works with, when he was training for his new position, the other employees would stay they get off at 5, but they would stay to like 8 or 9 on purpose for overtime. And really, or they didn't want to go home, for whatever reason, or they wasn't happy at home. And every time he's like, I don't know how they can do it. And I was like, oh my God, I would literally, is this 8 hours is already hard enough for me not to spend time with him when he gets home. And we start to really see like the programming of the matrix and the collective conscious. And so people are waking up out of such programming. But it doesn't necessarily mean they're on the spiritual awakening journey, but it could start there and it could go there. you know. So but there is a difference when a person says I'm woke. So when you really talk to somebody who's awakening, or there's many levels. Like awakening, it comes in phases, right? There's many levels. When I first woke up, I thought I was waking up to holistic healing, and then I remember there was one point when I started waking up to the whole the spirit messages, the spirit guys. I remember I was sitting there on Instagram and I was going through, and I every time I go through, there was a message. You know how people do the memes, and I would see one message, and I thought I was losing my mind. I said, "Oh my God, these messages are talking to me," you know. And that was like the beginning. I thought I was about to go crazy. Then I went to the hospital. Right, I was suffering from postpartum depression. And I was losing my mind. They had me on antidepressants. I was having a bad effect of the antidepressants, right? And so I went to the doctor and I said, you got to do something. I said, I feel like my mind is closing in. I'm going crazy. It's racing. Like I'm trying to tell her, like I'm literally about to lose my mind. And she says, I'm just going to give you some Ambien. Well, if you don't know what Ambien is, that's a narcotic sleeping medicine. I was nursing with a newborn baby. And she said, it just sounds like you need sleep. She didn't really listen to me. She didn't even realize she automatically assumed, she told me not. I said, I want to stop the antidepressants. I want to, I'm telling her, I want to stop them. And she's all, no, you can't. You can't just stop. And I'm like, I said, oh, yes, I am. She's like, no, what I'll do is I'm going to add on this sleeping pill. And I said, you have got to be kidding me. I'm not only nursing a baby. I don't know if you ever taken like something like Ambien. You could sleepwalk and get into all kind of dangerous shenanigans taking that stuff. So that I said to her, I said, no wonder people turn to cannabis, is what I said to her. And she says, oh my God, you can't do that. I said, you know what? I'm done with you. Okay. So I left that day. And that was when I decided, I was just like, I couldn't believe that she was like programming me to think this is what I needed. I left that day. And that's when I started to go on my journey to holistic health and research. And I started to see that, I started to learn that, growing up all this time, I thought the doctors were the smartest people in the world. I thought after 8 years of school, they knew everything about the human body and health. And then one day I went to the doctor again after my awakening. I was sick. I went to ER and I'm telling them my symptoms. And he's all, he says, we don't heal conditions. We are allopathic, which means we only treat the symptoms, right? So that's when I began to have, I guess that's when I started to become woke, okay, before the whole spiritual part kicked in. I was just like, are you kidding me? I started to realize that everything has been a lie. That I've learned, like in school, we learned that Columbus discovered the earth, everything is programmed. And then I started to learn, why are the doctors just prescribing medicine? Okay, because they have contracts with the pharmaceutical companies, and the pharmaceutical companies, the CDC, which puts out vaccines, which also genetically modify the food to keep us at a certain way so that we have to go to the doctors. Obesity has never been this bad, right? So you got to think about it. Once you start to awaken, one thing I've learned is you have to become your own healer. And so I started to see how, let me tell you something. Dorian has an auntie who works for the CDC, and she got cancer. And she was totally against like veganism and eating healthy, but because she said she worked for the CDC, she knew what they were doing to the food. She knew that they're controlling the health of the nation in order to go to the hospital, and then the doctors, they're pushing medicines. They even have commercials pushing medicines. So this has become a corporation. This isn't about us. This isn't about our health per se, or our life. It's about making money. So, and I'm saying that to say that this is something that people are becoming woke to, hence the health craze. And so she switched from that. She worked at the CDC. She knew the kind of stuff they put in the food that causes cancer and all of these diseases to keep the pharmaceutical company rich. She quit and went on a vegan alkaline diet. Healed her cancer, got rid of it. And so with that being said, we're in a multi-universe. And so we're pretty much, each person is their own universe, but we're in a universe where we're all in a collaboration. We're co-creators. And in the universe like this, we've all agreed to different experiences, you know. Maybe somebody agreed just to be woke to this kind, you know, woke a certain way. Maybe some will go on the whole journey to spiritual awakening, to ascension, to 5D, whatever beyond this, you know, that they want to do. Like, it's pretty much just like the world is your oyster. You can choose whatever you want to do. And long as you're aligning with your higher self, you'll be guided to what you had planned to do anyway before you got here. And so, I don't know, I just wanted to talk about it because I feel like, you know, they be making fun of us. But the truth is, well, they try to make, oh, the woke. But the thing is, people are not asleep anymore to this matrix thing. And it's happening more and more, although there's still a lot of people programmed. There's still a lot of people living in the program. And just like, you know, Dorian having to go to work, having to deal with people in the program. So sometimes you got to be in the matrix, but you just got to be in it to, you know, because maybe you got to use it to survive until you figure out how to actually manifest in a way where you don't have to work, right? But it's a good lesson to see that, to be thankful that, you know, I'm not the person working all my life and I can't wait till I turn 65 to get my pension and my retirement. Then what? By the time you're old. And so this awakening is really, it's really a journey on all levels, and everyone is going through it in their own kind of way. And, you know, my channel is about the spiritual awakening and ascension. So if you're watching my channel, if you're, you know, a subscriber and you watch my channel, that means we're aligned on the same path. We're resonating with each other, that you're probably on this journey as well. And so anyways, I don't know, I just wanted to talk about the woke versus spiritual awakening. You have to understand, like, the spirit, I'm in a few spiritual awakening groups on Facebook. And, you know, one thing that I really realized is a lot of people don't understand, like, for my definition of spiritual awakening, what I am talking about on my channel, then I see, you know, the people in the videos, I mean, in the channel, and some of the stuff that they talk about is so, you know, unconscious. Some of the comments, I truly believe that some people are just trolls and they go in there, or some people are religious and they just want to mess with people who are on the spiritual path. And so, so, you know, it's definitely a journey. And, you know, I'm thankful for the path that I'm on, and I'm so thankful that I'm able to share this journey with you guys. And I'm going to end this video now. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.